Enroll your child for the manifested e-learning platform and see their grades grow tremendously. These videos can be downloaded to a laptop for offline viewing or viewed from a smartphone in a course-friendly format.
Hello learners, and welcome to our today's lesson, which is continuation of the topic statistical methods under the subject geography. We continue from where we stopped, learners. In our last lesson, we introduced the chapter statistical methods, and we saw that statistics we deal with statistics on daily basis, whether we are conscious of it or not. We also saw that the study of geographical aspects requires the application of statistical methods to understand data and also to develop new insights. We further defined the term statistics as the exact numerical facts or figures collected systematically and arranged for a particular purpose. We then gave an alternative definition of the term statistics as the science of collecting, classifying, and using numerical facts. Learners, we went ahead to define statistical methods. Learners, we also defined the term data. We said data is simply information. And we say that if data is information, then statistical data will mean information presented in numerical form. Learners, information that is presented in numerical form is just but information in form of numbers. And we gave examples of such information. We say that a good example is the number of students per school in a county, the number of fees paid by each student per term, the mean daily temperature of a place for a year, the amount of maize produced daily produced yearly on a farm. We saw that another example of numerical data is the amount of money that your guardian or your parent earns on annual basis. I gave an example of the number of minutes that each lesson takes at the manifested e-learning platform. If you go to this video, this topic, you see there are various lessons, about 10 lessons. So you can collect, you can list the number of lessons. Lesson 1, 30 minutes. Lesson 2, 32 minutes. Lesson 3, 40 minutes. So that arrangement, that data is in form of numbers. That is statistical data. That is numerical data. All right. The number of shirts that you have bought since you started going to school. Learners, the number of shirts you can count: year 1, this number of shirts; year 2, this number of shirts; year 3. That is statistical data. And we went ahead to say, learners, that geography uses statistics to illustrate various facts. The reason why we are studying statistical methods is because for us to understand geography, for us to illustrate certain facts, we may need to use numbers. So in geography, therefore, we are interested in the way this data is obtained. And this is one of the main reasons for learning statistical methods in a geography class. Then learners, we went further to define statistical methods. We say that statistical methods refer to the techniques of gathering, or collecting, recording, analyzing, presenting, and interpreting statistical data. If you can recall, we also say that when statistical data has been processed, then useful conclusions can be drawn from it. And that's where we stopped, learners. But before we close the lesson, I gave you an assignment. I gave you questions, what I called revision questions, which you must have done because that is your responsibility. So your responsibility to ensure that assignments are done. So learners, in our today's lesson, under the subject geography, the topic being statistical methods, we want to learn the ways through which statistics enhances the study of geography. Welcome to the lesson. The subject is geography. Geography. Remember, learners, in our first lesson we said geography means the description of the earth. Geo stands for earth and graphy means to write or to describe. So these are two words that are borrowed from the Greek language. Geo meaning earth, graphy meaning to describe. So geography means to describe the earth, to write about the earth. So learners, in writing about the earth, we need to study statistical. Statistical what? Statistical methods. Statistical methods. This lesson is a continuation of our last lesson. And I've just said, in our today's lesson, we want to discuss the ways in which statistics enhance the study of geography. In which ways does statistics enhance the study of geography? That's a question that we want to answer in our today's lesson. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to do what? To explain ways in which statistics enhance the study of geography. Study of geography. Learners, do you understand the question? The subject is geography, but we are studying statistical methods, which we defined in our last lesson as the techniques of gathering or collecting, recording, analyzing, presenting, and interpreting statistical data or numerical data. Right? Statistical data or numerical data. And you've seen statistics is just deals with numbers. Okay? It just deals with numbers. So there are students who fear statistics, but you don't need to fear because you are dealing about numbers which we deal with on daily basis. You've been studying numbers since you are pre-primary school learners. And no human being can avoid the study of numbers or application of statistics in life. So learners, which ways, okay, does statistics enhance the study of geography? Point number one. Number one, learners, the first way, number one, learners, we can say that statistics, through statistics, there is what we call illustration. Okay, statistics helps in illustrating the relationship between varying quantities. Illustrating the relationship between varying quantities. Learners. For example, in economic geography, learners, the relationship between two varying quantities can easily be illustrated statistically. And this makes it possible for valid conclusions to be drawn. Right? Now, the effect of an increase, for example, in the acreage of land, under cultivation on the production of beans, or say maize or beans, can be summarized in statistical form. That's an example. Effect of an increase in acreage of land under cultivation. When you increase the land under cultivation, what will be the effect on the production of the crop that you want to plant on that land? That can be summarized in statistical form. You can have a number, okay? You can have a number representing the increase of beans. For example, if you are to double the acreage of land, what will be the effect on the production or harvest of the crop that you would want the plant that you would want to grow on that land? Learners. Statistics helps in illustrating the relationship between varying quantities. The two quantities in my example are the acreage of land and the quantities to be produced in terms of the kilograms, or the quantities in terms of kilograms or bags of beans, or bags of maize, or bags of onions, and so on. Statistics helps in illustrating the relationship between varying quantities. Right? Learners, number 2, I can say summarizing geographical data. Statistics enhances the study of geography by summarizing geographical data. Now, learners, a lot of facts can be made available in smaller space and in different forms, leading to saving on time required to go through information. And this also saves on the space available, for example, in a book or in a journal or a publication. So through statistics, it's possible to summarize data. Okay, summarize data, because data is collected, data is analyzed, data is presented. Sometimes data can be presented on a graph instead of having to write information. For example, if you want to present data can be presented in form of tables, in form of graphs, in form of curves, or a pictorial presentation. Through statistics, you can have pictorial presentation of data. Therefore, large volume of data that is collected can be summarized into smaller space. A lot of facts, learners, can be made available in smaller space on a page and in different forms. I've mentioned form like table, pie charts, graphs, curves, and so on. Pie charts, okay? And that saves a lot on time required to go through large amounts of data. That's a good thing about statistics. You can still make good use of data after you've summarized it. For example, if you have a lot of data about the marks of students, if you have, or sizes, marks of students in a class of say 100, and there are marks to be done. Sometimes through statistics, we just get the mean of the marks, because mean is just one figure. What is the mean mark? You get the total, all the number of mark, scores, then you divide and get the mean. That will mean that you've summarized the data. Learners. That's what we learn in statistics, like calculation of, determination of mean of data. All right? Summarizing geographical data. It can be temperatures in a certain place, learners, right? Because geography deals with the study of the earth, geo. The earth has many things. It has birds, we have air, we have soil, we have weather, and so on. Maybe in terms of determining the amount of rainfall in different regions, you can have the data collected, then summarize it, get the mean rainfall, for example. So summarizing geographical data. Learners, do you understand this point? What is the question again? We are discussing ways in which statistics enhance the study of geography. Remember, the study of geography is a study of the earth, describing, writing the earth. So we can use statistical methods in studying the earth and the geographical, different geographical aspects or geographical phenomena, learners. And that allows me to move to the third point. I've just mentioned geographical phenomena. The statistical methods or statistics enhance the study of geography by explaining geographical phenomena. Explaining geographical phenomena. Phenomena. Okay? Phenomena. Geographical phenomena. Now, learners, statistical data enables us to explain various geographical phenomena. For example, by studying the climatical data of an area, it's possible to explain why certain type of vegetation is dominant in that area. Why is it that tea is grown in certain parts of the country and not the other? Why is it that there are certain places in Kenya here we have certain crops being grown or growing in certain parts of the country and not the other? That can be explained by obtaining statistical data, okay? By studying the climatic data of an area. That means you measure the temperatures of that area. You measure the amount of rain that is received in that area. You check the type of soil in that area by taking numbers, the number of the numbers in terms of the temperature. You measure the temperature, the figures, numerical data, statistics. Okay? Then you check. That will help you explain such geographical phenomena. All right? That is a geographical phenomena. Why is it that this climatic condition supports this kind of vegetation? When you do that, that statistics will help you to understand why that happens. It's possible to explain why a certain type of vegetation or crops are dominant in a certain place, learners. Through statistics, we are able to explain geographical phenomena. Then another point, number 4, you can argue that statistics helps in easing the making of comparisons. Easing the making of comparisons. Easing the making of comparisons simply means statistics eases. It makes it easy to compare, to make comparisons. Statistical data enables us to make comparisons. Do you understand? Comparison is comparing. Okay, for example, example of areas. Learners, we can say that one can confidently and easily state which part of the country has the largest number of people after the census, after conducting census, because during census we get statistical data, numbers, the number of people in each area. All right? So it is very easy to compare population in different areas, for example, county-wise. So statistical data, learners, enables us to make comparison, for example, comparison of areas. It can be in terms of census, in terms of how people are economically endowed in different areas of the country, and that helps us to draw meaningful conclusions. And I've given an example of the census. From the latest census, one can confidently and easily state which county in Kenya has the largest number of people. You can compare county A and county B. You can compare with county C, county D, and so on. You can check which county has the largest number of people. And you can do it confidently because you have the numbers. And numbers never lie. Okay? You have the numbers. So it is easy to make comparison. Statistics makes it easy to make comparison. In geography, we may be required to make certain comparisons. How will the comparisons be made? By use of statistical methods. Number 5, predicting weather patterns. Predicting weather patterns. This is what we study in geography, weather patterns. So we can predict weather patterns by use of statistical methods. Statistical methods enables us to be able to predict weather patterns. Weather and climatic data learners can be used, okay, to predict future trends in weather and also climatic patterns. For example, trends in temperature, trends in rainfall can be used to predict possibilities of an impending drought or unusual weather conditions, like the El Nino. We can easily predict El Nino because of the ability to use statistical data. So statistical data helps us to predict weather patterns. We can look at the trends in temperatures over the years by measuring temperatures over the years. By measuring the amount of rain over the years, we can easily tell that during this time of the year, during this season, there is likely to be this climatic or weather condition, like the El Nino. That is number 5. Then number 6, availing actual data. Learners, through statistics, actual data can be availed. It can be made available rather than having generalized data. Through statistics, because you are dealing with numbers, precise rather than generalized data can be obtained. And learners, is better to state the actual amount of data than having general figure. For example, if you are dealing with, say, you are talking about rainfall, okay, it may be better to state the exact amount of rainfall, say 1000 mm, rather than using the term moderate, because moderate covers a big range. It can be between, say, 500 mm and 1000 mm. So it is more appropriate to state that, for example, another example is more appropriate to state that a place is registered an average temperature of, say, 40 degrees centigrade than saying that a place is very hot. Okay, because very hot is relative. But through statistics, it's possible to have actual data. It's better to work with actual data than generalized data. This is one way in which statistics enhances the study of geography. Then number 7, we can add another point. Statistics enhances the study of geography through, or we can say, for planning purposes. Okay, for planning purposes. Another way is planning purposes. Planning purposes. Now, statistics are useful, learners, in planning. It can be at the national level, or at the county level, or at the local level. This is because, as we just said, statistics are actual. Statistics are precise in their nature because you are dealing with numbers. You are dealing with numbers. For example, if you've done, say, census, okay, the census figures are exact, and they are also specific to, say, a country. And these census, learners, which the government carries out from time to time, can be used for planning. Can be used to what? For planning purposes. The government can use the statistics, that is in form of census, to plan for, say, provision of social amenities like the schools, the hospitals, the roads, and so on. If there's an area that is highly or densely populated than another area, then the government can choose to invest more in an area that is densely populated in order to provide services for the densely populated areas. And that can only be possible if there are concrete statistics. So statistics enhances the study of geography through provision of concrete data that is used for planning purposes. Then we can also use statistics for depicting changes with time. Number 8, depicting changes over time or with time. Depicting changes over time. To depict, learners, is just to show. All right, statistics clearly shows changes through time. For example, a country may want to know the changes in, say, export of coffee over a period of 30 years or 20 years. Statistics can help to show the changes over the 20 or 30 years because every year there are statistics for the exports. Statistics for exports. It can also be imports. Say the number of commodities that are imported in a country over a period of time. You can know the changes of the imports over time. So these are 8 points, learners, that explains ways in which statistics enhance the study of geography. There are more ways. These are not the only ways. There are many ways in which we can continue on and on, but because of time, we are going to stop there. But before we stop, I'm going to give you an assignment. I'm going to give you an assignment. This is your revision question. I'll give you one question for your revision. Explain 5 ways in which statistics enhances the study of geography. So when answering this question, learners, make sure you have your exercise books closed. Try and see if you can retrieve this information from your brain without referring to your notes. Thank you. God bless you. We will continue studying statistical methods in our next lesson. Bye-bye.
Thank you for choosing to study with us. For more information, you can call us on 0724 173845.